How to use the Firefox browser Windows 10. This video describes the functions on the Tools and Help menus. Please note, the videos in this playlist, How to Use the Firefox Browser Windows 10, should be watched in order from the channel page. Instructions for visiting the channel page are given at the end of this video. The Tools menu, it lets you look at a list of files you have downloaded. It also shows you files that you're currently downloading and how much longer they have to download. And once you open the downloads list, if there are any shown, you can clear them from the list. It doesn't remove them from the computer, but it clears them from this list. Add-ons. These are programs you can get from the internet to add to your browser to give it more functionality. You can get more add-ons, which is what this page does. For instance, Google apparently has a translate app that you can load, so then you can, if you're in Firefox, you can, on a page that's in a foreign language, you can activate the app and translate it. Extensions. These are extensions that I've downloaded. Ant Video Downloader is a free program that will copy any video that you are currently playing on your Firefox website. Some web pages defeat that downloader, but most don't. So it's a good way to get copies of videos that you like to watch more than once. There is something that Dragon has given me when I downloaded the Dragon program. I haven't used it, so I don't really know what it is. Norton Identity Safe is a very useful program. Unfortunately, it doesn't fully work in Firefox yet. What it does in Internet Explorer and in Google Chrome is when you visit a website that needs a password, the first time you visit it, Norton Identity Safe will record the password you've entered, and the next time you visit that website, it will automatically fill in the password. It fills in both the username and the password. But again, some websites defeat that feature so that it won't quite fill in everything you need to log on to a password-protected website. Appearance, nothing there. Plugins. There are various plugins that I have installed in the Firefox browser. Some of them are pretty much required for a lot of websites. Adobe Acrobat, Shockwave, Flash, Dragon's got a plugin, Google Update. A lot of those you get automatically. Notice the options out here. Always activate. You can set that to either always activate, ask to activate, or never activate. Might cut down the overhead a little bit if you say ask to activate, so it would only install and activate it if you needed it. And they warn you on ones that might be dangerous. Might be best to avoid those, but you may run into websites that require them to be activated, so use your own judgment there. Services, I don't have any of those. So that's the add-ons manager. Start a conversation. I don't really do conversations or chats. Don't use that one. Don't use any of these really. Let's see what page info shows us. Doesn't show us anything that most computer users would find useful. Now this is the biggie, options. This lets you change all the Firefox options that affect how Firefox operates. If you click this one, you get a huge number of choices here, and each one has a lot of things you can set. Now here's one you do use. When you set up your home page, you do use this one. So what you typically do is you open a particular page you want to use as your home page, then you would open this page, Options. Remember, there's several ways to open Options. You can do Tools, Options, or you can click the symbol over on the right, and basically many of the same choices are there, but Options is there also. So you can open it that way also. And then to set your home page, you open the page you want to be your home page. Then you open this page. Then you click Use Current Pages. But you want to remember when you use this feature that you probably want to get rid of this part. Because if you don't, when it opens your home page, it'll always open an extra tab for options. And I don't like that, so I take that off before I exit this screen. Don't make the mistake of taking it off and then clicking this again, because that'll put it right back. Okay, so that's the home page. That's one of the main things you use. You also can direct where you want downloaded files from Firefox to be saved in your computer. You might want to put those somewhere where you know where they are, where you can find them easily. Because otherwise, how do you find the files you downloaded? Tabs, I believe these are the default settings. Various options that I don't really use that change the way Firefox operates when you're opening new windows. That's the last item in the Tools menu. Then the Help menu. It's a standard help menu. You can get Firefox help. You can get a tutorial on Firefox. You can get a list of keyboard shortcuts. What I recommend you do on the keyboard shortcuts, I don't use many of them, but what you might want to do is print the list and post it on the wall by your computer so you can have it as a reference. The only keyboard shortcuts I use are the F11 key to give you the full screen display. And again, remember what that does. F11 full screen, press it. Gets rid of the lines at the top of the browser so that the web page has almost the entire desktop. Press F11 again to reverse to get back to normal mode. I use that one, and I also use the edit shortcuts, but they work in almost any program in Windows. Remember the cut, copy, paste commands I use a lot, and then select all and then find. I use those, so that's not too many to remember, so I don't have those posted. I just remember them. Remember Control X for cut, Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and Control A to select everything, and Control F for find. So those are the ones I typically use from the shortcuts. Some of these you might find useful. You can browse there and see what's happening. If you have a problem with Firefox that you think is being caused by an add-on, you have this option to restart Firefox with none of the add-ons enabled. So you might try that if you're having trouble that you think might be related to an add-on. And the About Firefox will show you the current version of Firefox that you're using, and that is 44.0. It was only updated to that version a couple of days ago. The About menu I just showed you was for version 44.0, and that is the version that this particular tutorial was originally made for. The playlist you're watching the video in has been updated for Firefox version 57.0. I've made changes where there are important differences between the two, but I've left the original sections where the changes are trivial. Here's the Help About menu for Firefox version 57.0. It's also called Firefox Quantum. Firefox really is my favorite browser, but I recommend you install several browsers on your computer because you will occasionally run into problems with Firefox or with a website when you're using that website in Firefox, and you want to try it with a different browser to see if the problem goes away. So I really would recommend that everyone with a Windows computer have Firefox installed. Windows 10 comes with the Edge browser and the Internet Explorer browser. I much prefer the Internet Explorer browser, so I have shortcuts for that. And I also recommend you have the Chrome browser. And I have them pinned to the taskbar. There are other videos on my YouTube page that show how to pin shortcuts to the taskbar. There's a shortcut to Firefox, shortcut to Internet Explorer. So things you use frequently, pin them to the taskbar. That's the end of this video. Here are several ways to visit the Tom's Tech Notes channel page.